A shipment of Moderna vaccine that was supposed to arrive in San Diego never showed up. Now it's causing new delays for people already frustrated about not being able to get the shot. We asked county leaders what this means for people whose appointments are being canceled. Plus, the CDC gives guidance on how to reopen schools, the 5 key things that it says must be done to help campuses remain safe. And a major outbreak at the University of San Diego, how it's trying to stop the virus, which has run rampant since school restarted.
ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
Big news coming from the state tonight, clearing the way for another 4 to 6 million Californians to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Hunt. State Health Director Dr. Mark Ghaly made the announcement a short time ago, and people between the ages of 16 and 65 with severe health conditions or high-risk disabilities will be eligible for the vaccine starting March 15th. Severe health conditions on the state's list include chronic kidney disease, cancer, Down syndrome, heart conditions, and type 2 diabetes. Pregnant women will also qualify. As for those people with developmental and high-risk disabilities, it was not clearly defined who would qualify under this new guidance. Ghaly says the ability of these people to get the vaccine will depend on availability, and we are working for more details of this breaking story. We'll have that coming up on later editions of ABC 10 News. This is a live look at the Petco Park Superstation, which is going to have to close for about 3 days. That's because the shipment of doses that the county was expecting to get from Moderna never showed up. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala just spoke with county leaders to find out what this means for people whose appointments are getting canceled.
We've been saying for a month now that the instability and erratic nature of supply is really what's going to hold us back.
On Friday, San Diego County was set to receive a shipment of the Moderna vaccine, but that didn't happen, slowing down vaccinations countywide and canceling some appointments, something County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher feared could happen. The shipment is now expected to arrive from the manufacturer on Tuesday.
They've said definitively it'll be here Tuesday, but when the truck shows up and the box is here, then I'll believe it.
Right now, second dose appointments are a top priority, but the UCSD Health Petco Park Vaccination Superstation, which has only given the Moderna vaccine, will be the most impacted site.
Unfortunately, we only have enough vaccine to run through tomorrow at that site.
Dr. Marlene Millen with UCSD Health says appointments for Friday and Saturday will remain as is, but no vaccines will be offered on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. Those appointments will automatically be rescheduled.
They'll receive an email that has the information on when they were rescheduled to. Sunday is moved to the 22nd, Monday was moved to the 23rd, and Tuesday we split. So if you were before noon, you were moved to the 24th, and if you're after noon, you moved to the 25th. Again, this will be in the email, so no one need to run and jot it down.
If those dates don't work, people can choose a different time through MyChart or find another location anywhere in the county offering the Moderna vaccine. The county says both the East County and South Bay Superstations still have enough vaccines to get through Monday. The county's smaller pods and the North County Superstation in San Marcos have enough vaccines to complete second dose appointments and a limited supply of first dose appointments. If you were scheduled for a second dose and your appointment has been pushed back, the CDC did update guidance that says second doses of the vaccine can be administered up to 6 weeks after the first dose and still be effective.
It's okay to go up to 42 days after their dose so that they don't have to worry or fret about being a couple days late on their vaccine dose.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Even with that new roadblock, San Diego opened its newest COVID vaccine Superstation today at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. They will start by doing between 280 and 600 vaccines a day. But like the other sites, the hope is to eventually ramp up to about 5,000. Unlike the Petco Park location, Del Mar is operating under the cover of the large exhibit buildings, and that means that it won't be as affected by the weather.
To have these large halls that allow for drive-in traffic, they allow for the air to move, they allow for multiple, as you can see, the stations, behind me here.
The Del Mar Superstation will operate from 8 until noon on Saturday and Sunday. Appointments can be made through the state's My Turn website. New guidelines from the CDC on how to get children safely back in the classroom, but some parents and the teachers unions are already pushing back. ABC 10 News reporter Adam Rakusin reveals the 5 steps that schools are being told to take and why there is so much disagreement on making them happen.
Masks, physical distancing, hand washing, cleaning, and contact tracing. Those are the 5 key mitigation strategies the CDC believes are essential to safe delivery of in-person instruction and help to mitigate COVID-19 transmission in schools. The CDC saying if mitigation strategies are strictly adhered to, K-12 schools can safely open for in-person instruction and remain open, but stressing the strategies are just a roadmap, not a requirement or a mandate that schools reopen.
There were kids who had it all together who don't anymore. And it's really tragedy, and a lot of people are desperate.
The new recommendations come as some parents push for their kids to return to in-person learning. Holly Churchill has 3 kids.
Social psychologically, they need structure. They need to have a routine. They need to have their sports, their activities, their friends.
The CDC's 33-page document provided color-coded zones for school reopening options. It also talked about vaccines for teachers and staff, saying they're an important tool to help stop the COVID-19 pandemic, but stop short of a requirement for safely reopening.
I think it's very consistent with the way that we have been approaching this from day one.
Richard Barrera is the San Diego Unified School District Board President.
When we get our educators vaccinated, when our case rates, continue to decline and get into, a safe space in the community, and then on top of all the mitigations that we've already, put into place in our schools, we will be able to start reopening.
Earlier this week, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria chimed in on schools. Gloria signed a letter to state leaders asking the state prioritize vaccinations for educators TK through 2nd grade and school employees, and require that as soon as the first dose of vaccine's been offered, school districts reopen those grades to in-person learning. President of the San Diego Education Association, Keisha Borden, says educators need vaccines and both doses.
I really think if we're going to be offered vaccines, we would want the full 2 doses and the time after that 2nd dose to reach peak immunity.
Adam Rakusin, ABC 10 News.
Today, the state launched this online map. It shows the status of school reopenings across California. Parents can look across the state and see what types of learning environments each district is operating in.
The only logical conclusion is that the purpose of this gathering is to embarrass the 45th President of the United States.
Lawyers for former President Donald Trump laying out their case that he should not be convicted in his impeachment trial. The defense team took just a few hours today to make that case. Reporter Nadia Romero shows us why they say Trump did not incite the attack on the Capitol.
It is constitutional cancel culture.
Former President Donald Trump's defense team coming out swinging.
It has become very clear that the House Democrats hate Donald Trump.
Arguing the Constitution is on Trump's side.
The article of impeachment now before the Senate is an unjust and blatantly unconstitutional act of political vengeance.
Lawyers say the then president's speech was protected under the First Amendment. Still, they say he promoted peace before the violence at the Capitol.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
The defense team accusing impeachment managers of using misleading video in order to argue Trump incited violence.
Words matter, they told you. But they selectively edited the president's words over and over again.
The defense also accuses Democrats of advocating for violence against Trump.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Trump's team confident they have the votes to acquit the former president, only taking a few hours to present their case. Despite the expected outcome, Democrats say the damage to Donald Trump is already done.
I think the power of their case will be a lasting testament that will do damage to President Trump, perhaps has done already significant damage to President Trump.
In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
Closing arguments in the impeachment trial begin tomorrow.
The start of one of the most important holidays in Asian culture, the Lunar New Year, isn't the same because of the pandemic. On top of restricted celebrations, there are concerns about violence against Asian Americans.
The use of words such as Chinese virus, Wuhan flu, not to mention worse connotations of that, clearly had an effect on our Asian American community. It caused people to be singled out for hate.
Now, there's no federal data available for anti-Asian hate crimes and incidents, but Stop AAPI Hate reported more than 2,800 cases in 2020. Now, that will change soon. President Biden signed an executive order giving the Justice Department resources to track hate crimes and incidents against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Now, in some states and cities like Oakland, California, additional resources are going to protect this population. Videos released from the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce show that 91 and 84-year-old Asian and Thai Americans shoved to the ground. Now, that group reported at least 20 similar robberies and attacks within 2 weeks. County's district attorney created a special response unit to investigate crimes against Asian Americans. Residents are stepping up too.
You can't just sit still. Like, it just made me feel like restless. Like, every time that I watch one, like, I just feel my stomach just like curl. So I'm like, what can I do? Like, what can I do?
That young man organized volunteers to help accompany seniors who feel unsafe in Oakland's Chinatown. So far, more than 160 people have signed up. He also fundraised to get seniors portable alarms.